All right, let's say you want to learn AI. Not just learn about it, but actually get really good at it, starting right now. What's the fastest path? Because let's be real, the old university playbook, it is just not going to cut it anymore. So what we're going to do here is break down a super modern, accelerated guide that's all about getting you building real impressive stuff and fast. Look, the simple truth is this. AI moves at lightning speed. And those slow, theory-first academic routes that might have been okay, 5 or 10 years ago, they're totally broken now. They are just too slow. They can't possibly keep up with the pace of change. It's that simple. And this quote right here, it just nails it. It really sets the stage for a completely different way of thinking. Now, this isn't about skipping the important stuff, not at all. It's about sprinting through the fundamentals with a totally new, practical mindset. So what's the alternative then? Well, it's this, the accelerated path. It's a focused, smart plan that uses the very AI tools we're trying to learn faster. The whole goal is to stop just reading about theory and start applying it, like from the very first day. Okay, first things first, let's lay down the new rules for learning. The absolute core of this whole approach is a major mindset shift. You've got to forget about passively watching videos or reading books. This is all about being hands-on, project-driven, and super practical right from the jump. So what's the one thing that's completely changed the game for learning AI today compared to even just a few years back? It's this, having an AI co-pilot. I mean, think about it. You have a tutor that's infinitely patient, knows pretty much everything, and is available 24/7. This one thing, it changes everything about how you learn. And this right here is the absolute heart of the whole strategy. Learn with AI, not just about it. Seriously, you need to start thinking of tools like Grok or Claude or Gemini as your personal tutor, your coding buddy, your research assistant. This is the secret sauce. This is how you put your learning on hyperdrive. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means you get super interactive, right? If you're stuck on a tricky concept, don't just stare at a textbook. Ask the AI to explain it to you like you're 5, or maybe explain it with a metaphor. If you've got a bug in your code that's driving you crazy, just paste it in and ask your AI copilot what's wrong. If you're looking at some crazy dense research paper, ask for a simple summary. It's this back and forth, this conversation, that can literally triple your learning speed. No exaggeration. Okay, so let's get into the actual roadmap. Where do we start? We start with what's called the foundational sprint. And look, you can't just skip the fundamentals. That's a recipe for disaster. But you can absolutely sprint through them. We're not talking about years in a classroom here. We're talking about a focused 2 to 4 month push to build a super solid base. And that sprint, it's built on 2 core pillars. Pillar number 1, Python mastery. It's the language of AI, plain and simple. You've got to get comfortable with it. Pillar number 2, math intuition. And I really want you to focus on that word, intuition. You don't need to be a math genius or get a PhD. You just need a good feel for the core concepts that make all this AI magic happen. So here you go. This is basically your foundational toolkit, your cheat sheet. These are some of the absolute best, and hey, mostly free resources out there to build those 2 pillars fast. You want to learn Python basics? Free Code Camp on YouTube is amazing. For that math intuition we were talking about, man, 3 Blue 1 Brown's videos, they are pure gold. This toolkit is all about getting you up to speed as efficiently as possible. All right, foundation is solid. Now what? You don't wait around. You start building immediately. The very next step is to take what you've learned and dive into classical machine learning. You'll get your hands dirty with classic data sets, like the Titanic survival project. They're perfect for beginners because they let you really focus on the key ideas without getting bogged down. This is the moment theory stops being theory and starts becoming real. And while you're building those first models, you're going to be laser focused on these key concepts. You'll learn the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. You'll figure out what regression and classification actually do. And crucially, you'll learn how to actually tell if your model is any good or if it's just guessing. These are the absolute building blocks for all the cool stuff that comes next. Okay, you've got the classical ML stuff down. Now we enter the modern era. And this is where it gets really, really exciting. We're talking deep learning. We're talking transformers. We are talking about the large language models that you see everywhere, completely changing the world. So to play in this modern arena, you need the right tools. And the go-to recommendation is clear. You're going to want to learn PyTorch. And the reason is simple. It's what all the researchers use, it's incredibly flexible, and it's basically the modern standard for building these powerful neural networks. It's the tool for the job. And just like before, here are the absolute essential resources for this next phase. Andrei Karpathy's Zero to Hero series, it's legendary for a reason. It's probably the single best resource for building a deep intuition for how neural networks actually work. Then for NLP and transformers, the Hugging Face course is it's the gold standard for getting hands-on. And as you go, these are the core ideas you really need to wrap your head around. First, the attention mechanism. This is the secret engine that makes modern LLMs possible. Then you have RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. That's a fancy way of saying how to make a model smart about your specific data. And finally, you'll get into AI agents, which is really the future, turning these models from just chatbots into things that can actually do stuff for you. Okay, so we've learned a ton of theory, but theory is totally useless if you don't actually build stuff. So this last phase, which is really an ongoing thing, is all about taking everything you've learned and turning it into real-world impact. And one of the best ways to do that is with a strategy called the project ladder. It's a really simple but super powerful concept. Basically, you don't jump in and try to build the most complicated thing you can imagine. No, you start simple, and then you level up, step by step, making each project a little more complex. It's how you build your skills and your portfolio at the same time. So what does this ladder actually look like? Well, step 1, the first rung, is something simple. Maybe an image classifier that can tell cats from dogs using something called transfer learning. Then, for step 2, you move up to a medium-level project. A great one is building a chatbot using RAG, so it can answer questions about your own files. And then finally, step 3, you tackle something advanced, like a real AI agent that can automate a whole workflow for you. See the progression? Simple, medium, advanced. And look, AI moves so fast that the learning really never stops. So building these habits is it's not optional. You gotta follow the key researchers on X. You should use AI tools to help you summarize the latest research papers, because there are a ton. Join communities on Reddit or Discord. Subscribe to a couple of good newsletters. This is your maintenance plan. This is how you stay sharp and on the cutting edge. All right, let's wrap this up. Your journey starts right now. I mean it. The tools are better than they've ever been. The best learning materials on the planet are mostly free, and as we've talked about, AI itself is the best teacher you could ever ask for. And this, right here, is maybe the most powerful part of this whole plan. If you have focus, if you have discipline, you can absolutely go from knowing nothing to building seriously impressive AI systems in under 1 year. Think about that. That's just an incredible, incredible opportunity. So this whole roadmap just goes to show you, becoming someone who builds with AI is more possible today than it has ever been before. The tools are there, the path is clear. The only question left is, what are you